IDEW46.com. IDEW Local 46. Your true power professional.
The Tacoma forecast team. Shannon, Rebecca, Darren, George, and Stella. Always watching for disruptive weather. Always warning before weather turns. You can see that increasing rain along with the gusty winds with it. 5 forecasters and meteorologists working together day and night to keep you safe in every weather condition. The Tacoma forecast team. Accurate forecasting, reduce footprint through home electrification. For a limited time, save up to $5,000 in rebates when you purchase and install a Mitsubishi heat pump with Black Lion. Convert your home to ductless heat pump technology and enjoy cooling this summer. Schedule an estimate with Black Lion and see if you qualify for rebates. BlackLionHVAC.com.
The News Watch never stops. News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000.
KNWN FM Oakville, KNWN and KPLV HD2 Seattle.
The Northwest's only all-news station.
Welcome to an update on traffic coming up in just 4 minutes. But first, ABC News. It's 9 o'clock. From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franson. Congress convenes today to finalize the electoral count from the 2024 presidential election. Vice President Kamala Harris will oversee the symbolic event.
It's a process spelled out in the 12th Amendment. Vice President, in her role as President of the Senate, opens the sealed envelopes containing the electoral vote certificates. Those votes are then tallied and then announced to the joint session by Vice President Harris. She calls this duty a sacred obligation. The Electoral Count Reform Act, passed by Congress in 2022, clarifies that the Vice President has only a ministerial role, no power to set aside electoral votes.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. The nation's capital blanketed with snow today. The winter storm impacting more than a dozen states from the Midwest and south to the Northeast. That has led to major traffic accidents in Ohio and other states. More than 1,300 flights also have been canceled at airports nationwide. Moments ago, Justin Trudeau announcing he's stepping down as Canada's Prime Minister. That will be effective March 24th. Trudeau? ABC's Ian Panel has more.
Justin Trudeau has been Prime Minister of Canada since 2015, leader of the Liberal Party since 2013. He was the second youngest Prime Minister in Canada. He's a charismatic figure that everyone knows. He was obviously Prime Minister during the first Trump presidency. I think there's been a lot of anticipation about what's going to happen during the second Trump presidency.
Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel filed twin federal lawsuits challenging President Biden's decision to block the proposed merger, alleging it violates constitutional rights to due process. The White House said the National Security and Trade Expert Panel determined that the merger would create risks for national security. A deadly attack in the West Bank today, leaving 3 Israelis dead and 3 others injured. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israeli forces will find those responsible. You're listening to ABC News.
Struggling with back taxes or unfiled returns, owe the IRS $10,000 or more. With the IRS ramping up enforcement, taxpayers across the country are turning to tax relief helpers. Call 800-885-0622 now. End IRS stress today. Stop collection efforts, wage garnishments, and sleepless nights. Tax relief helpers can help you or your business settle your tax debt quickly and affordably. Call the Tax Relief Helpers hotline at 800-885-0622. That's 800-885-0622. Start your relief today.
Offer not valid in all states where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Just need some extra cash to get by? Then you need to go to GetCash.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 in minutes. No need to search through endless loan sites. GetCash.com is one of the largest lender networks. They can help anyone get up to $10,000 regardless of their credit score. Best part, the money can be in your bank account as soon as the next day. When you need fast cash help, go to GetCash.com. That's GetCash.com.
Patrollers in Park City, Utah continue their strike for an 11th straight day. Patrollers calling on resorts and ski slopes to return to the bargaining table as they seek a pay increase. The walkout has shut down some slopes. Some strikers say hurts them as much as it does gas.
I hoped that the company would come to the bargaining table and give us a fair proposal, and we would be able to continue and work, and I'd rather be up there on the hill.
Ski patroller Nick Smith. South Korea's military today saying it detected a suspected medium-range ballistic missile launch from North Korea. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Seoul, where he condemned the launch and said the Biden administration is trying to reach out to North Korea multiple times over the last 4 years.
Efforts to sit down to talk without any preconditions. We communicated that on many occasions. We've done it privately, we've done it publicly. And the only response effectively we've gotten has been more and more provocative actions, including missile launches.
The Spanish-language musical Emilia Perez was the big winner at last night's Golden Globes, taking home 4 awards, including Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. The Brutalist won Best Motion Picture, Drama, and star Adrian Brody won Best Actor. I'm Michelle Francis, ABC News.
News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000. All news, all the time. On the Northwest's only all-news station.
Good morning. It is 9:04. I'm Lori Hardy, and we're going to take a minute and check in with the High Performance Homes Traffic Center and Sheriff Sorella.
Good morning, Libby is still here. Just for a little longer. Good morning, thank you. So we're okay here on I-5 in terms of accidents coming through Seattle, but you are still under speed quite heavily starting around Boeing Field. This is all due to actually some road work here at Dearborn Street. So some operations here with maybe some lane slack down that west-south side of I-90. Little fuller still the closer you get toward I-5. Southbound side of I-5, if you're in Linwood, you'll still be a little bit busier. Right around 220th Street, heading toward the shoreline area, and then you'll stack up pretty slowly just before State Route 522 down and beyond I-90. North-south side of I-405, yes, you're still full through Wrench, and the accident by 30th Street is still on the border point between the entrance ramp and the main line, so it's just kind of like some residual onlooker delays here, combined with still our morning volume, of course. Road work to watch out for, Fife here on Pack Highway, north and southbound by 70th Avenue. Cruise should wrap up by 3, and then you got crews working on the Tacoma WA Bridge in both directions mid-span. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Libby Kane.
Thank you, Libby. And a look at our weather, which is brought to you by Northwest Cross Safe Services. Going to see some sun maybe this afternoon, a high around 48, more clouds tomorrow, and then the sun returns on Wednesday, looking at a high right now of 42 degrees. Pierce County deputies are investigating a suspected homicide on a jogging trail in Parkland.
A difficult morning for people living near the Parkland Prairie Nature Preserve, a place they know to be peaceful and quiet.
I actually woke up to my neighbor texting me that someone had been murdered in the park, and so we shot out of bed and looked and saw a bunch of different police officers and cars and vehicles and detectives.
The sheriff's office explains someone walking this path found a man lying off the side of the trail and called 911, leading to a homicide investigation. The sheriff's department was at the park for hours processing the scene.
It's crazy to think about it, like that someone was murdered so close to the house, like where I sleep. It's not a comfortable feeling for sure.
The sheriff's department is not saying what type of injuries the man sustained. A couple of people say they're now thinking twice about using their neighborhood park as the suspect or suspects are still missing.
We're just kind of in shock that it was, 60 feet from our house, our front door, and kind of scary because we walk our dogs there, and so do a lot of people.
I walk the park, to just exercise, but I'm probably not no more.
Tacoma WA's Jackie Kent. A woman in her 30s was struck and killed by a car early Saturday. It's King County's first pedestrian fatality of 2025. The woman stepped into the roadway and was struck near East Marginal Way, near South Orca Street in South Seattle. The driver, who was headed to work, immediately called 911 and cooperated with police. Despite Seattle's Vision Zero initiative to eliminate traffic deaths by 2030, pedestrian fatalities have been rising since 2023. The 28-year-old motorcyclist was seriously injured after colliding with a pickup near South Hill Mall in Puyallup Sunday evening. Police say the 72-year-old pickup driver failed to yield when entering the 39th Avenue Southwest from 7th Street, causing the crash. The driver was arrested on suspicion of DUI, and the collision closed 39th Avenue Southwest for several hours during the investigation. The Everett Fire Department has a warning about the dangers of propane heaters.
Firefighters got a call involving 2 people using a propane heater inside their car for warmth while sleeping. A faulty connection resulted in the car filling with propane, which led to an explosion. Thankfully, though, those people weren't hurt, but this highlights the dangers of using fuel heaters in enclosed spaces. Everett Fire says to always maintain proper ventilation by keeping doors and windows open. Keep heaters at least 3 feet away from flammable material. Ensure your carbon monoxide detectors are working and regularly inspect your heater for any damage.
Tacoma WA's Molly Shen. Sunday marked exactly 1 year since the Alaska Airlines door plug blew out over Portland.
This was a terrifying moment when a door plug flew off a Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft, leaving those on board in shock. 1 year later, travelers remember hearing about the incident.
I was completely shocked, and, my heart goes out for the people that had to endure that moment of uncertainty with what was going to happen on their flight.
All eyes were on Boeing as they faced intense scrutiny about safety and quality, but the company has maintained all along that its planes are safe to fly. Some travelers say they're still nervous and hesitant.
I heard they fixed the plane, so maybe it's a little bit safer, but I'm still a little bit nervous now that, something bad could happen.
Tacoma WA's Karina Vargas. A victory caps off Seahawks season falling short of their own expectations. Bill Sports has a Beacon Plumbing Sports Update.
Knowing they would not be part of the NFC playoffs, Seattle battled hard in Game 17, defeating the division champion Rams 30-25 in L.A. 10 wins, the most for any Seahawks first-year head coach ever, Mike McDonald. After 10 years, receiver Tyler Lockett might have played his final game in the Seattle uniform.
So I appreciate the city too, man. I think the city is amazing. I'll always view Seattle as a college town, and yeah, maybe this isn't the end, maybe it is the end, but I always will be a Seahawk through and through.
The Seahawks now set their sights on free agency and a very important April draft. NFL playoffs are all set. The Rams will host the 14-3 Minnesota Vikings in the first round. Detroit gets the number 1 seed and a bye. 4-13 Jacksonville has fired its head coach, Ferndale, Washington native Doug Peterson. A career-high 31 points from DJ Davis rallied the Washington Husky men's basketball team. Not enough, falling short against Illinois, 81-77. And it's Monday night hockey at Seattle Center. The Kraken so far at 1-1-1 on the homestand, host the high-flying New Jersey Devils, second in the Metropolitan Division. Sports with Sports at 10:40 after the hour, Northwest News Radio.
Seattle's new minimum wage gets the blame as West Seattle restaurants close its doors.
Do you want a waffle to be a luxury good? I don't know if you do.
Katie Ellison runs a full-service florist called Flower Lab in the same space where Bebop Waffle Shop have been serving at breakfast for more than a decade. She says it's hard to see the restaurant go.
She's been here 10 years, and it has been a really beautiful gathering space.
On Monday, the waffle shop owner closed for good. Karina Lukenbach says all her costs have been going up, and she's been putting in long hours and straining her mental health with little to show for it. Seattle's latest minimum wage increase was the final straw.
So then you bring in the minimum wage, which is an extra $32,000 for me based on the hours that I already have.
On January 1st, Seattle's minimum wage went up to $20.76 per hour. The tip credit went away. That means that restaurant owners have to pay an additional $3.50 an hour to each of their employees.
This really pits the owners against their employees in a way that is so you can't really speak honestly about the hardship that happens with paying people more. And people need to make more money in this city.
There's a growing concern that other restaurants could meet the same fate as Bebop, even though many agree that workers need a living wage given the high cost of living in Seattle. Lukenbach says she notified her 8 employees several weeks ago that she planned to close just before the minimum wage took effect, and it broke her heart to do it.
To give that news to them in early November was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was awful.
Joel Marino, Como News.
People are lining up to pay their respects to former President Jimmy Carter, who died last week at the age of 100. His casket is lying in repose at the Carter Center in Atlanta before it heads to the U.S. Capitol.
We're hearing that more than 10,000 people so far have come to pay their respects at the Carter Center here in Atlanta, where the former president's visitation continues. It is a 24-hour event. Day and night, people have been streaming in and out of this area for the past couple days now. And people have also been dropping flowers and jars of peanuts at the sign behind me because this president, among
for the Valley Freeway that crashed by 30th is still there. It's off on the shoulder, though, at the Gore Point, so right between the entrance ramp and the main line. So you still have volume here and some onlooker delays that was in the roadway earlier. You got some road work northbound I-5 right now by Dearborn Street, so that's actually very low still. Right around Going Field, we've also got road work on West Seattle Bridge today. It's the left lane that's blocked on the westbound side about mid-span. Crews working on a Tacoma Narrows Bridge, Highway 16, both directions here, mid-span. I believe they should be wrapping up at least by noon. Crews on both sides now of Pack Highway in Fife. They've been working the southbound side with the lane blocked. They should be wrapped up by 3. Northbound just got underway with the lane blocked as well. And just getting rid of a crash southbound I-5 and State Route 520 with maybe 2 right lanes blocked out. That's Northwest traffic. I'm Libby Kane.
And thank you, Libby. And your weather is sponsored by Northwest Off-Base Services.
All right, it's a Monday, a real Monday, and we have some early morning fog. That will clear, so this afternoon is looking mostly sunny, upper 40s. Tonight's cold, there's 34 in Seattle, some neighborhoods in the freezing zone, and some dense fog in spots tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, mostly cloudy with showers tomorrow night, heavier round of rain on Friday, otherwise quiet for this upcoming weekend, and cool. In Tacoma Weather Center, I'm meteorologist George Waldenberger, KOMO 4 News.
The Northwest's only all-news station, News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000, where the News Watch never stops.
Good morning, I'm Lori Hardy. It is 9:16. The President and First Lady are scheduled to travel to New Orleans today. They plan to meet with the family members of the victims of the New Year's Day terror attack. Earlier today on Northwest News,
She
Time for a Beacon Plumbing Sports Update with Bill Swartz, and time for the Kraken to heat up on home ice.
Saturday's 4-2 loss to Edmonton dropped Seattle to 1-1-1 on the current homestand, and with 37 points, next to last in the NHL Pacific Division. Tonight, the Kraken skate against one of the L.A. Geno Smith threw 4 touchdown passes. The Seahawks beat the Rams 30-25. Geno reached several personal milestones, earning $6 million in contract bonuses. Playing well and reaching 10 wins somewhat eases the pain of not making the playoffs.
Just feeling for the guys, man. Wishing we could continue to do this thing together. I love every one of my teammates, man. I love every part of this organization, and yeah, it's up.
Playoff-bound L.A. Rams rested starters and host Minnesota in a first-round game. 3 disappointing seasons across Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson. His job, college football subdivision national championship on the line tonight in Frisco, Texas. 15-0 Montana State against 13-2 North Dakota State. Sports with Swartz at 10:40 after the hour. Northwest News Radio.
It is 9:41. Tight security at the U.S. Capitol as Congress gets set to certify the presidential election of Donald Trump.
It's a snow day for just about everybody here in Washington, D.C., but not for Congress. By federal law, Congress must come into session today. They are on track and set to count the electoral votes, certifying the election results for President-elect Donald Trump. Presiding over it all will be his own former rival, Vice President Kamala Harris, fulfilling her constitutional duties. Of course, it was just 4 years ago that Donald Trump urged his own supporters to march to the Capitol on January 6th, pressuring his own Vice President Mike Pence to try to overturn the 2020 election that he lost. We were here reporting live. We saw hundreds of people storm the United States Capitol. More than 1,500 people have been criminally charged. Donald Trump has vowed to pardon many of them. Today, there are no formal plans by Republican leadership to mark the anniversary of January 6th. Today's ceremonial events expected to run smoothly, but local law enforcement, federal officials, they are not taking any chance. Entire Capitol complex.
ABC News.